So this semester, I've had to take the LSAT and apply for law school, which is a very stressful thing to do. So for my independent study, I thought that it would be beneficial for me now and in the future to study yoga because from my very basic understanding of yoga coming into this experience, I know that it is often used as a tool to calm themselves and find inner peace. And though I don't typically have test anxiety, I did have anxiety about the LSAT, so I thought this would be a beneficial tool. So for this, I sought to examine both traditional and Western views and practices of yoga. In the modern world, yoga has been trivialized, and there are many cliches about yoga, but few understand its history and meaning. Yoga is not invented by one person. There is not one single founding father of yoga. It's been a living tradition for many centuries. It's a set of practices that dates back to before the 2nd century, but the first codified set of yoga practices was made in the 2nd century BC. So to begin my study this semester, the first thing I did was I read a book, The Circle of Fire, which gave a brief history of yoga, and then it outlined poses and practices. And I practiced for 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. I also read a book written by a yoga person, and he's also a modern scientist, and that was a very interesting part of my study. And this all led me to how yoga is used as a type of medication. In our daily lives, meditation can be helpful in eliminating many physical and psychological problems. A significant amount of the diseases that we experience are often directly or indirectly a result of conflicts, repression, distress, stress, and those can arise from both the conscious and unconscious mind. So meditation helps us to be aware of these conflicts and how we can resolve them. Being more self-aware leads us to the ability to know where and when we have anxiety and what part of our body it's affecting so that we can release that tension and stress. It allows us to establish tranquility and inner peace, and in this way it becomes a powerful resource for helping face the challenges of daily life. Knowing that I wasn't going to be proficient in yoga in one semester, this led me to my practice of mindful meditation, which is like, in my opinion, yoga on the go, where you can use meditation throughout any time in the day to make yourself more self-aware. And I find that when I get stressed out, I often become short-tempered with other people, so making sure that I was self-aware was important for my ability to relate to others more beneficially. And so one of my favorite things was I checked my email 5 times a day or more. So every time that I felt the urge to check my email, I took 1 minute to assess myself and my surroundings and what I was feeling and where I felt tension in my body, and then focus on what brought that about and what I can do to release that from myself to further my inner peace. And I also did this before every time that I took a practice test, or before any time that I worked on a piece for my law school applications. And I think that that was very beneficial, and I think that mindful meditation helped me to become more in the moment while taking tests for the LSAT practice tests. So I have a long way to go on flexibility until I am where I want to be, but I like hip openers the best. So I'm going to show you the most basic and easy hip opener first. It's the Firelock pose. You've seen it. This is the typical stereotypical yoga pose where you place one foot on top of the other and you flex the top foot, and then the knee of the other, like your foot is above your knee and your knee is above your foot, and this opens the top hip, typically in the back. And then to get the most out of this pose, you make sure that your back is very straight and your chest is up, and then you lean forward. And you hold that for a while. And this is typically where a lot of practices begin. Like, this is one of the first poses that you'll do and you'll come home to before you go to other more difficult poses. But this is one of my favorites because I can plop down anywhere and do this and it feels very good. So I also really adore arm balances because I can't yet do a handstand, but these are ways to build strength, so hopefully one day I can do those. So I'm going to show you 3 planks and then working on the build your strength to do the harder arm balances, and then I'll end with showing you an arm balance, the one I can do, the only one I can do so far. So first, these are out of order, but your basic plank will be with your feet back and your hands in front of you, with your hands directly under your shoulders. Then from here you can often move into the dolphin plank, which is the same with your elbows under your shoulders. And then another great pose for building strength in your arms and your whole body so that you can do the more difficult poses is the side plank, which you turn your foot and open chest. So the last pose I'm going to show you is an arm balance. It's called the crow pose. So I'll just show you it.